in case you kill the battery. Right up. But check this out. This is the first generation of electric start. Look, Mom, one finger. Typical Honda quality. Let me tell you something, fellas. I've tested over 6,000 vintage motorcycles. That's just in the last 5 years. And you really can tell a difference on a 380-mile bike versus a 38,000-mile bike, especially on the small bores. This motor is tight as a tiger. It's been dismantled and rebuilt by Jeff Castine only because it sat for 40 years and was seized. But the bearings on the bottom end, the clutch, the transmission, everything is perfect. It shifts and runs like a dime piece. Kind of makes all the pain and suffering of over a year working on this thing and finally getting it all together worthwhile. That's the payoff for me, is when I get to ride them. It's a labor of love for sure. So rest assured, 380 miles, this is an excellent candidate for a full restoration, or leave it the way it is and ride the wheels off of it. It's got a lot of character the way it is. You can see the original handlebars show the patina, some of the chrome on the bolts, and a couple dings in the fender. But hey, this is a 68. That makes it, what, 53 years old? It's almost as old as I am, for crying out loud. It's an absolute antique classic with 380 miles on it, guys. Runs like brand new, okay? Thanks for watching. Listen to this thing rev up. It revs so nice. Only at the New England Motorcycle Museum will you happen to see, just coincidentally, a 1968 160 Super Sport along with a 1968 CL350 Scrambler. Where else are you going to see that? Nowhere but here, folks. Subscribe to the best vintage bike channel on the planet, Kaplan America. This thing is so light and nimble, and I guarantee you, back in 68, they didn't have tires like these sticky Michelins. This thing handles like a dream. I'd love to take this around a racetrack, see if I can drag my knee on it. This is great for kids or old timers. You know, if you're 70, 80 years old, you got a bad back, bad hips, trade in the full dresser, get yourself a little light bike like this. It's like riding a bicycle. What's up, fellas? Let me show you what I've been working on for the last 3 years. Well, maybe not 3 years, but it seems like it took 3 years. We resurrected. I got a little obsessed when this bike came in, and we were like, should we fix it? Should we not fix it? Well, it's a classic Honda CB160 Super Sport with 379 original miles from the original owner. And that's what seduced me. The speedometer and headlight and gas tank were in good condition, but that's about where the good condition stopped, because the engine was seized for sitting for 40 years in their basement, and the seat cover looked like it had been chewed on by a rat, and it was a little crusty and rusty. So honest to God, I have no idea how much time and effort we put into this thing, but it was an obscene amount of time and effort, a labor of love. If we build it out at $90 an hour, it'd probably be like $9,000. Seriously, if you bought a bike in and had us do this much work. But in any event, let's start with the motor. Jeff Castine, the manic mechanic, the dyno tuning expert, took this motor completely apart, took the top end off, redid the valves, retimed the timing chain, bored the cylinders, put new rings, all new base gasket, head gasket, new plugs, completely dismantled and rebuilt the carburetors and put a performance set of K&N style high flow air filters on there, changed the fluids, went through the entire bike, redid the points, everything. Got it running perfectly. That was stage one. Then it went down to a detail shop. The engine was, after Jeff polished the inside of the motor, the guys polished the outside of the motor, the cylinder fins, the cases, the aluminum side covers, the exhaust pipe, everything was cleaned to the nines. The carburetors had gone through the carb cleaning tank, and the detail department took it to the next level and continued cleaning the carbs and the intakes so everything shines beautifully. The frame was repainted. The seat cover has a brand new seat cover on it. The front and rear fenders were repainted, as was the portions of the frame, swing arm, and chain guide. Now, honest to God, it's probably been over a year since we started working on this bike, and we'd order parts, do a little bit. It's got new grips on it, new mirrors on it, and it runs like a dime piece. But was it worth it? Probably not. We probably could have done 7 or 8 or 9 easier restorations. 6 or 9, yeah, 6 or 9, as Uncle Ronnie would say. But this thing's styling, man. It's got Michelin tire. It's a labor of love for sure. Michelin tire on the front and new tube and rib band. Nice Michelin tire on the back, so it handles like an absolute dream, and it runs like a new motorcycle. It's got a new battery on it, a new chain. The brakes have been serviced. Everything's been done. The original aluminum and chrome on it still looks good. The gas tank chrome looks good with no dents in the chrome. It has a brand new set of Honda reproduction badges. The gas cap looks real nice. The speedometer is in excellent condition. Usually the gauge face gets all yellowed and everything. This was stored indoors. It wasn't stored outside. So the speedometer gauge face showing 379 miles looks excellent. Has the original toolbox still intact with the cover on it. And it even has the original toolkit inside here. The blue Honda toolkit is intact, which is kind of cool. So like I said, it was a bike that just sat for many, many, many moons, and that's why the engine sees. The original Honda pegs are nice. The shifter, the factory original foot pegs are still there. The exhaust pipe is in nice shape. I don't feel any rust through anywhere on the front side of the pipe, and I don't feel any on the back side. So the pipes look good, and they're original. The rear tail light is original. This side of the gas tank chrome still looks good. There's a small dent or impression on the top of the tank right here. A good dent magician could pop that right out for you. This is the original paint on the tank, as far as I know. It does show some patina, which is, indicative of the what is it, 50 something years old. So let me just go over the work order, make sure I didn't forget anything. And the bottom line on the work order came to $2,366. That's with service, parts, and labor. And who knows how much actual time went into this thing. So it was down to the detail shop at least 3 times, in and out of the service department a half a dozen times, waiting for parts and this and that. So it was even, this was done back when Jeff rebuilt the motor at his shop when his shop was still up in Massachusetts, and we were sending motors to him to get rebuilt and dyno tuned. And that was last summer when he did this. So it's been over a year since we started this journey. The heavy lifting's been done. The engine's in mint condition. It's got 379 miles on it, which means the crank, the clutch, the gears should all be like new. It has new tires, new chains. So if you want to take it to the next level and maybe professionally repaint the tank and fenders, you've got yourself a stunning beauty that's going to go up in value. These are really, really hard to come by in good running condition. And as far as finding one with 300 miles, forget about it. This might be the lowest mileage one in the country, unless you pull one out of a crate. 379 miles, that's about as good as it gets. So call us if you have any questions, 860-454-7024. She's ready to roll into the museum or into your private collection, or ride it to the AHMRA events. Take it out on the track, take it to the show. It's going to be a head turner everywhere you go. It's a true classic. Thanks for watching. Oh, one other thing I want to point out, there's a dent in the front fork tube here, which you can take this off. A good dent magician should be able to pop that out and then smooth it off with a little body filler and repaint it. It'll be fine and original. Not a big deal. It's probably a $70 repair or $100 repair from a dent magician. We kind of went overboard on it, and we've already got a minimum $2,300 work order in it in a ton of time. So there's still a little bit of left you could do. You could put side covers on it, whatever you want to do. It's ready to go. The heavy lifting's done. Thanks for watching, and God bless America.